I'm Royal, I'm rank 1 in Wild Rift, and I'm playing on a fresh new account all the way from Unranked to Challenger. I'll be playing every role with many different champions to show you how to climb and win in every elo. I will be taking highlights from every game I play and analyzing them, giving you my thought process, so this can be a very educational series. First game, I'm playing Orianna vs Tristana mid. If you have any champion suggestions or any role suggestions, feel free to comment below and I'll play them in my next games. So at this first game, like I said, I'm playing Orianna vs Tristana, and I'm constantly auto-attacking her. Every time she auto-attacks the wave, I'm auto-attacking her using my first ability to gain an early game advantage. The rest of the early game wasn't very interesting, but I was able to get a small lead. And now in the mid game, I'm constantly pushing in mid lane to get map control and mid priority and give my team an advantage that way. The enemy team is gonna try to go on me. Tristana flashes forward, but I'm able to kite back, not auto-attacking, so I can get as much space as I can. And Echo overextends, does not use his ult, and he dies. I'm able to push out mid lane. Tristana is very low, so my team is gonna go and do Dragon. I see the enemy jungler's top side, so I'm immediately gonna go there and zone him out. Even though we do have Nunu, so the Dragon should be always secured, I'm still gonna walk up to top side and zone out the enemy jungler and not give him a chance. He does suicide into me. Again, I'm pushing out mid lane, and this is actually a really funny clip. The Nunu is, I think, trying to tell me that, hey, bait them in, I'm gonna get a big ult here. So I'm trying to bait the enemy team into the bush so Nunu can get a good ult, and here it comes. Boom! One-shotting Sona. We clean up the Caitlyn, and we try to chase down the Rammus, but he does escape. Enemies in low elo are always caught out like this Echo. They overextend, and if you're fed, you can punish them. That's why it's important to get an early game lead, and then you can transition it. Me and this Nunu run it down mid lane, and we get collapsed by the enemy team. I keep my distance away from the Rammus, so I don't get CC'd. And now I've overextended a little bit. I should be flashing the wall here, but I'm kind of waiting, trying to see if I can win this fight, and I can't. I flash away and I barrier just in time, so I do survive. And I almost died to the thorn mail of the Rammus here, but I do manage to survive. Then we simply take Baron and end the game because of how fed me and Nunu are. Moving on to the next game, I was obviously inspired by the enemy Tristana, and now I'm playing Tristana. I don't know what the spike is doing level 1, but he allows me to stack the lethal tempo on him. And I almost take him down. And he's kind of like sitting in my face, so I flash and get the first blood. I'm punishing his incompetence. I'm not sure what he was doing there. I'm just gonna clean up the wave and back. However, the enemy jungler shows up with no buffs, no camps. He flashes on me under tower. I hide behind the turret and he auto-attacks the turret because he's playing Graves and his auto-attacks don't go through turrets. So I'm able to get 2 free kills in the early game. And again, this does happen a lot in low elo, and you should punish it and get a big lead in the early game. Now I'm just chain killing the Pyke, and I'm so fed that I'm able to impact the map in other ways. I see the enemy jungler get Skull Crab, me and my jungler immediately react because I have mid lane prio, and I'm not hesitating. I immediately react and I go to the enemy jungler and stop him. Pyke is not even able to defend under turret at this point with how strong I am. I'm just gonna go ahead and dive him. So the enemy Pyke is playing extremely safe because of how fed I am, so I'm gonna go harass his jungler. So I push in the wave, and while Pyke is busy farming the jungle, I see an opportunity to go invade and kill Graves on his red buff. Of course, I can only do this because of how fed I am. So I'm able to get my bomb on him and one-shot him. But when you do have a lead, you want to be doing actions like this. You don't just want to be sitting around mid lane doing nothing. And again, just 30 seconds, a minute later, I go and do the exact same thing. I know he's gonna go back to his red buff after I kill him. So I push out the mid wave, find Graves, he gets the red buff. I slightly misplay here. However, I am able to get the kill. And Pyke is not gonna come chase me, so I'm gonna get away scot-free. I am still dominating the Pyke in the mid lane. He tries to fight me again or poke me, but it's not gonna work out for him because of how fed I am, because of how well I've played fundamentally. I go and get a turret, I help my jungler in Herald, but now I do want to shut down the enemy top laner because my top laner is actually 3-0. He's getting completely destroyed by the Swain. So now I'm using my lead to transition it to other lanes. I'm shutting down the Swain. And I'm gonna come up once again just to completely deny him. I'm 10-0, so even if though he does have a couple kills and he's pretty strong, I'm able to one-shot him. He does break my shield bow though. And now we go to team fights, and with such a big lead, I am able to, with correct positioning of course, clean them up one by one using my resets. Even though I am very fed, I still have to play these team fights correctly because I'm playing a squishy champion. I can die very easily. So we're at a point where I have 15 kills. They can't even defend me 2v1, so I easily take the top lane inhibitor, get a double kill, and I'm just gonna be ending the game, and that will be our second win of the account. Just getting a little cocky trying to attack me, but yeah, I'm just too fed from a very strong early game, which does make sense because we're playing in very low elo, so this is kind of expected. So we're gonna be able to pick up an easy win. And now we're actually going to get our first rank up. We're going to go from Iron 4 to Iron 3. And we also get an additional mark. We have our 42 shields. And let's move on to the next game. So this game is very unfortunate. I actually got assigned ADC. I decided to go for Vayne. And my support picked Ashe, which I don't mind. I think Ashe support is actually pretty decent. However, he didn't buy a support item. And he tried to steal all my farms. He contested every single minion. So it was very hard for me to get fed this game. I was not able to get an early game lead because of my support trolling, which does sometimes happen in low elo, and I can't even blame him because I don't even know if he's doing this intentionally or if he's just a very new player. But that does happen. I try to keep positive mental and do the best that I can with what I am given. We mostly fall behind the entire game. The enemy team has a very fed Yuumi Twitch. I think they're a duo. Twitch jungle, Yuumi support. I am able to make a few roaming plays, catch some enemies out of position because of how easily they misposition this low elo. Unfortunately, I don't get the Herald here, but I am able to kind of get myself a lead slowly, picking up a double kill and even a triple kill here versus this Nautilus. But we do fall very far behind this game. I do ping my team to go for a clutch Baron play here. For any chance we might survive, just sneak Baron, do anything. The enemy team is now aware of it, however their jungler is nowhere to be found, and thanks to Vayne taking Baron very quickly with her second ability, we're able to sneak the Baron. And now instead of getting out, we get a little greedy, we get the Swain, and now my team really needs to run, but they choose to fight the Yuumi and the Twitch. The enemy team is coming collapsing on us and my entire team dies unfortunately except me. So we're still very far down until I see a chance to make a comeback, a chance for anything. I go for the 2v1 play and I stole them just long enough and survived with my stasis for us to be able to pick up both of them. Now with two people dead and Elder up, this is our chance. Twitch and Yuumi are going in. And this is where I make the clutch play of the game. I am able to stun Twitch on the wall and we're able to kill him just in time. So now they have 3 members dead, including their jungler. This is our chance to go get Elder, get Baron, and actually win the game. Unfortunately, our Renekton had different plans and this is so tilting. While we're getting Elder, he literally goes and runs it down to the Nexus because he's tilted of our team's performance this game, of our mid laner support doing so badly. So he just runs it down and dies for absolutely no reason. So we do get Elder, and now we're gonna go try to take the Baron, but it is 4v5 since the Renekton entered. And even though we are doing okay in this fight, even though it's 4v5, because we have Elder, we're just too far behind and we really needed the Renekton for this fight. So even though the fight does go okay, eventually our Elder runs out and the enemies get the Baron and end the game. So this is gonna be our first loss on the account. Even though we did lose, we're still gonna promote to Iron 2 because we have 42 shields and we surpassed the max cap. So we still promote to Iron 2, but that's our first loss of the account due to a troll and someone running it down. On the next game, I'm playing Darius, one of the strongest level 1 champions, and the Nasus is not respecting that. So I kind of feel bad for bullying this Nasus. I'm not sure if it's a bot or an actual human, but he has a very tough time in lane. I picked Darius specifically to dominate lane. And this is what I'm doing. I'm not giving him a single chance. I'm just gonna completely dominate him in lane. I get 2 solo kills. Graves comes stop and we're able to kill him from full HP almost under turret. Thanks to my bleed, my ignite, and the Graves red buff actually gets the kill. Then after I've gotten a lead, I wanna impact the rest of the map. So I'm gonna go and roam. Pick up a kill on Annie. And this maximizing resources, right? I'm going all the way back to bottom after getting Skull Crab. I'm gonna go and kill the Nasus for, like, what is it, 3rd or 4th time. Get the ult off. And I also want to focus on getting my turret, right? I get all the platings, I get my turret. Nasus again overextending. So I'm gonna pick up another kill. I've actually gotten Protobell to help me catch the enemy since I'm so fed. And here you see it used in combination with my first ability. Olaf is actually the only one who's very fed in the enemy team, but he can't fight a 5-stack Darius. And that will allow me to transition my lead from my lane to mid lane and take mid lane turret as well. And I just get to a point like the Tristana game where I'm too fed, the enemies cannot deal with me. This one is trying her best. I kind of misplay my passive and ult here and do some of the worst Darius mechanics of all time. But we're able to just completely dominate them and end the game. And that marks our promotion to Iron 1. And we just need one more win for Bronze. So let's play one more game in this episode. So we're playing Xin Zhao jungle, and this triggered me so hard, man. This triggered me so hard. The enemy Wukong is waiting in the bush while I'm doing red buff, and he smites my red buff. But I think it's important to show you how you're supposed to recover after that happens. So I'm gonna go to my top side jungle. I'm gonna pick up my wolves, pick up blue buff. Keep in mind that there was a solo kill in the top lane, so I'm assuming there's no summoners because he got solo killed already, right? So I'm moving top lane to get a gank on the Scion. It's a pretty good gank, and I get my Renekton a free kill, but he dashes for no reason and dies, which sucks because I just gave him a pretty big advantage. So I'm gonna go invade his red buff since he's clearing his bot side jungle. I was kind of expecting maybe I would meet Wukong there and then I would back off. I do meet Siren and I back off, but unfortunately my Renekton goes on suicides. Another important thing with jungle, I'm not auto-pathing to my red buff, I'm constantly looking around, moving my camera so I can see the lanes, and I see a solo kill picked up mid lane, and of course Aurelia is gonna wanna push the wave. She's half HP, and even though I do miss everything, that's my chance to come in and kill her. I was only able to do that because I was checking my map constantly, and I didn't just auto-path to my red buff. This is a free kill that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. I also freeze the wave to give my Ahri a wave management advantage. Later on, I get Herald, and I look for a play mid lane to counter gank. Again, constantly looking around and moving my camera. As a jungler, you need to be doing this so you can make the correct decision of where to be on the map. So this counter gank gets us a kill in the Leona, and even though the Ahri does go down, this is an overall good play for us. I place the Herald down, good hook by the Pyke, and we're gonna take the mid lane turret pretty easily. So again, this play was only possible because I'm constantly moving my camera around and prioritizing correct things, correct decisions. I don't know what Wukong is doing here. He really thinks he can do anything. I think that would have finished him, so I back off and I have to waste flash. It's just my inexperience with a champion. I don't exactly know Xin Zhao's damage, but I do get another turret shot. So this is what I call revenge. I see Wukong going for his red buff, and you know what I'm about to do. I'm about to get his red buff, smite his red buff, and kill him on top of that. This fight actually lasted quite a while because of Wukong's healing, but there's just no way he can escape because I have my third ability up again. So this is something that happens very commonly in lower elos. The enemy ADC getting caught out, gets caught out mid. I'm using correct auto-targeting to focus Aurelia and not Leona. And we're able to actually get a good play mid lane. Get some extra kills. Moving on, the enemy team is again getting called out mid. I jump right on the enemy ADC that doesn't have flash, and I'm able to pick up an easy kill. Again, these plays are also working out because of how strong and fed I am. Because of my strong early game, and I'm just snowballing using my stasis to avoid the Siren passive. And we're able to pick up 4 kills and get an easy Baron. So here's where I make a mistake, and it's important to point out when I make mistakes too, so you know that I'm not perfect and I make these mistakes too. So my team is pressuring nothing, right? They're just resetting. So I can't be this far overextended because the enemy team can all collapse on me. So they do collapse on me, and it's a big mistake on my part. So I've waited for my team to get on the map and pressure things before I push. So this puts the enemy team back into the game. However, we go for a last Elder play. We do get good positioning. The Renekton is zoning out the Wukong, and I'm able to smite the dragon. And even though this fight doesn't start off well with Pyke and Renekton insta-dying, we're still able to win the 3v5 because of Elder Dragon. It's just so powerful. So we're able to win the fight and end the game. So with this win, we're promoting to Bronze 4. If you guys have any champion suggestions for my next video, please leave them down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more Wild Rift content.